Welcome back to the cost of coping. I'm really glad you are here, truly. There's something powerful about choosing to sit with yourself and with others in conversations like this. Today's chapter is called Who Am I? Anxiety Edition. And yes, it sounds a little bit dramatic, but anxiety tends to bring its own background music, doesn't it? Let's begin with something simple and honest. I woke up this morning with anxiety. No nightmare, no terrible news waiting on my phone, no forgotten responsibilities screaming for attention, just anxiety. Right there, like it clocked in early for its shift. That's one of the strangest parts of living with anxiety. Sometimes it has a story, and sometimes it just exists, like a fog that rolls in without asking the weather. And yes, I'm medicated, because sometimes courage looks like therapy, prescriptions, and choosing not to battle your brain alone anymore. Sometimes strength looks like saying, I deserve help, and then actually accepting it. Anxiety doesn't always look the way people expect. It isn't always hyperventilating or panicking on the floor. Sometimes it's quiet, sneaky. Sometimes it's just a constant hum in the background. It can look like your heart racing while you're doing absolutely nothing, overthinking every word you said, even the ones you whispered to yourself, feeling exhausted from thoughts alone, or convincing yourself something is wrong when everything is technically fine. And somehow we're expected to just function through that. Go to work, answer emails, smile politely, be normal. But anxiety doesn't just affect how I feel, it has shaped how I've seen myself. For a long time I thought, who I am is someone who worries, someone who braces for impact, someone who expects the other shoe to drop. Somewhere along the way, anxiety stopped being something I experienced and started becoming something I identified with. And that's when I began to lose myself. I lost pieces of the person I used to be, the one who laughed without calculating how long it was acceptable to be joyful, the one who made choices based on curiosity instead of fear, the one who trusted moments instead of questioning them. I didn't disappear all at once. I faded quietly, slowly, like dimming a light until you forget how bright the room once was. But here's the beautiful part. You can always turn the light back on. Rediscovering myself hasn't been about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who I was before fear got too loud. It's been letting myself like what I like again. Letting myself rest without guilt. Letting myself take up space emotionally. Letting happiness exist without immediately waiting for it to be taken away. And finding peace. That hasn't meant the absence of anxiety. It's meant learning how to sit beside it without letting it drive. Because anxiety will always try to take the wheel. It's very confident like that. But peace is gently reminding myself, you don't get to decide everything today. And when anxiety shows up, as it often does, I meet it with grounding, not to make it disappear, but to remind myself where I am. I ground by noticing the weight of my body in a chair, the floor beneath my feet, the air moving in and out of my lungs, the sound of something ordinary, like a fan or distant traffic, proving the world is still spinning just fine. Sometimes I use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Sometimes I place one hand on my chest and one on my stomach and just breathe, slowly, deliberately, like I'm teaching my nervous system a new language. And sometimes grounding is humour, because honestly, laughter can interrupt fear in a way logic can't, like telling my anxiety, thanks for your concern, but I am not, in fact, dying because I sent a slightly awkward text. Or, no, brain, we are not about to be publicly shaming for existing quietly. Progress. What I've learned is this. Anxiety speaks loudly, but it doesn't speak truthfully. It tells stories about danger when there is none. It confuses discomfort with disaster. It tries to convince you that peace is temporary, fragile, and suspicious. But peace is something we are allowed to have. Not because everything is perfect, but because we are human. I am not broken because I take medication. I am not weak because I need coping tools. I am not behind because healing doesn't look like a straight line. I am learning to be someone who can hold both the fear and the faith, the worry and the wonder, the healing and the humour.